What's up, guys? Today I figured, I'm doing this and it was an afterthought video, but this lady in front of you here on this statue I got from Amazon, it's plain. I mean, it looked just gray. And what I'm doing is I'm using actually some acrylic paint and a simple paintbrush. And it doesn't take very much paint. I mean, if we pan over here, I just have a little bit of paint, okay? And I dab it, and then I dab it on the Scott towel. And down here, you can see it's just gray. And if we look over here, it is more marble-like. And even the female herself, the hair, you highlight it. And the other thing you're going to need is some acetone. It's nail polish remover. And just to give you an example, like I did all of this here and it looks a lot better. But like her face is very pale, her hair. So you just take the brush and you're going to dab it on, and you don't really have to be too careful with this. And once you kind of paint it on and then just paint over her face and like kind of around her neck, you just, kind of dab that in there and here. And then the other sides of her hair to get like her hairline. I'll show you how you can make this look a lot better. I mean, for the price that you pay for this, it should come done already. And then like in the crease of her arms and around her breasts and her midsection, and the coochie, of course, you want to just kind of brush it all over. And what we're going to do then is just take a cloth. You're going to go ahead and use the nail polish remover, the stuff, and you're going to kind of wipe it off, and you'll see it's going to kind of bleed out. And you just keep working at it. And you can kind of get the feel for where the highlights are. And you can really make it nice, and it should have been done like this before. And then when your rag gets too dirty, you got to take it, use some more nail polish remover, and you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm leaving the highlighted spots. And that's kind of the gist of it. But I'll cut back when I get it done and you'll see. But that's the technique you want to use. Like I did that all up in here and here, and it looks better. And you can see her face, and hers is starting to look like that. All right, so you can see how I did that. And what I did use is a little Q-tip too, to kind of, brush that away. Now you can see I kind of got a little light here. So all we're going to do is take a dry brush, and then we're just going to go ahead and kind of just blob that in there, and then we'll go over it once more. And over here you could see there, that covered that up. So that's kind of the goal. And then around here and like around here, you want to highlight and accent all of that. And then you could see in the crease of the arm. And then we're going to start on, her legs. And then we're going to get down here because we didn't do nothing. And you can see the difference over here to here. And all I'm doing is using, like a black paint. And it just rubs off. The other trick is when you start rubbing this paint off, you can see how dirty that is right there. So that makes for a good, you know, like streaker to rub that in, and you can get some good highlights. Like you could see right there, you can rub that in, and then all of this wasn't very well defined. All right, so for this part here, all I did is just take a little bit of paint and then smoosh it off, and then we'll show you. Just like hit it there, not too much. And then what we'll do is take our rag, and you want a clean spot, and you'll use some of that nail polish acetone, and you can see how that kind of smears it. And don't worry if you make a mistake, because you could just rub it off. But as you can see, it details it, and you just work that in and around, and you can see how much more marbly that looks. And we'll just finish up right around. And again, like on the lady's foot, I got a little too much there. We'll just go ahead and we'll use a little bit more acetone to kind of remove that. And then you can kind of see over here, it's a little too dark, so we'll remove a little bit of that, and we'll just carry on until it's done. All right, so I got everything finished, and you can see, and as I'll turn it around, you'll see you just got to really work at it and do the details. And again, you know, acetone is your friend, and just paper towel and Q-tip, and even, you know, from here down, you can see it's not all that hard to do. And I don't know, I mean, this took me probably about an hour and a half to get the way I wanted it. So the last thing we got to finish up here, and you can really see how white that is. It doesn't look good. It doesn't, I mean, if you compare that to that, it's a drastic difference. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and take a little bit of paint, and then you want to kind of blot it off. You want a dry brush. Now what we'll do is we'll come up here and we'll just like kind of hit it in different spots, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be more than enough to start with. And then we'll take our rag with our nail polish remover and just kind of ball it up, and then just kind of lightly give it a smear. So you can see we need to soften that up, and just by taking and rubbing that, just, you know, go back and forth, do circular motions. Make sure you get around the edges too. Use a little bit more acetone if you have to. And you can see how that kind of blended. Now we'll take our dry brush and just kind of go a bunch of different ways. And then we'll come back in with our rag. Key is not to overdo it. A little bit at a time, and also a little lighter pressure, a little harder pressure, and you can already see it's starting to look marbleized. And again, the factory should have did this for the amount of money that this thing costs. should have been done. I'm not sure if I said, but I am using black right now. So this really looks kind of white, and the black gets kind of grayed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of gray now, and I'm going to try and darken this up with a little bit of, you know, gray. Alright, so what I did is I just took a little bit of gray now, and we're just going to kind of blot it in here, and then, you know, kind of just smear it around. Get some more gray, because it just doesn't match. And now it's okay if this dries too. You don't have to hurry up, because again, the acetone will break it down, and if you fuck up, just, you know, wipe it off. And the gray just gives it a little bit of a different color than the black, so that's what we're trying to do. And you can already see that's starting to take a different type of grayish look. I'm not going to make you watch all of this, so I'll cut back when I'm done. Alright, so what I did was I took the gray, and being it's not taken the way I want it, I just painted it roughly over it, and I kind of let it dry. Now what we'll do is we'll take some acetone, and we'll just rub that, and you could see it's definitely going to change that color to more like what we want. See, I took too much of that off. I'm going to have to repaint that. But we'll work this in before. And again, make sure you get the edges. Okay, so now what you can see is I took a lot of that paint off, but it's blended. And what you're looking for is the equal color from here to here. So if we step back and take a look at it, you can see how that looks. And it looks like, you know, the way it should have. And if I was saying marble, I meant stone. So it is what it is. But anyway, that's how you can take something that looks very cheap, but you spent a lot on it, and make it look really expensive.